You're seeking command over your life, a clear path, and that deep sense that everything is finally heading somewhere meaningful. Yet, on most mornings, your thoughts are already fragmented before the day truly begins. You bounce from one thing to another, fall into endless scrolling, and can't figure out why self-control keeps escaping you. Miyamoto Musashi knew this inner turmoil well. He didn't achieve unbreakable resolve by accident. He built it through a daily practice that sliced through the clutter and fortified his inner strength, a practice rooted in focus, minimalism, and unwavering purpose. Adopt it, and things start to shift. First step, the quiet awakening. The issue isn't a lack of willpower, it's the absence of a solid framework. Long before Musashi ever touched a blade, his day started identically each time. He rose before the sun in total stillness, no words, no rushing, no interruptions, only pure presence. This wasn't some mystical ritual. Musashi recognized that the moment daylight hits, life gets noisy, so the greatest fighters seize the calm that comes beforehand. When he got up, he didn't hurry or grab anything. He just remained seated for several breaths, quietly observing whatever was going on in his head, without resisting it, without trying to change it, simply acknowledging. This marked the beginning of his practice. Rise before dawn, stay silent for 2 or 3 minutes, tune into your breathing and how you're sitting. Allow your thoughts to calm before outside demands reach you. While everyone else lurched into the morning groggy and reactive, Musashi stepped into it wide awake and in charge. He held that those initial moments upon waking determine whether you guide your day or get pulled along by it. You don't need isolation or weapons for this. Just set your alarm a bit earlier. Sit on the edge of your bed. Sense your inhales and exhales. Take ownership of the stillness before chaos arrives. That's where Musashi's practice starts, with calm, deliberate resolve, and a mind that meets the day alert instead of overloaded. Second step, the edge of breathing. Once he'd settled into that quiet, Musashi advanced to the next phase, honing his breath. For him, breathing wasn't merely about calming down. It was a tool to anchor the mind before it could wander. He used a straightforward sequence passed down through generations of fighters, 3 deliberate breaths, each serving a distinct role. With the first, he let any lingering stiffness from sleep drain away. With the second, he directed his attention downward to his core, the traditional seat of balance and power in Japanese martial arts. With the third, he declared his purpose for the day, slicing through potential distractions as cleanly as he would an enemy. It wasn't flashy, it was exact. Breathing shapes your inner state. Your state shapes what you do. And for Musashi, action was everything. He wouldn't allow his thoughts to run wild. Breathing was his way of taking the reins again. This part is easy to adopt. 3 deep, slow breaths. First, let go of physical tension. Second, center your concentration. Third, decide on your focus, that's all. Do this every morning, even for half a minute, and you'll notice the difference. The mental chatter fades, your body feels grounded. The hours ahead seem less like something imposed on you, and more like something you're ready to direct. Third step, the stroll of heightened awareness. Having secured his inner calm through silence and breathing, Musashi moved to the next element, refining his perception. He knew a fighter's true edge came not from raw power or quickness, but from seeing what others overlooked. Each morning he took a brief walk, not for fitness, but to train his senses. As he moved, he registered every detail, the pressure under his feet to breeze against his skin, faint noises in the distance, subtle shifts in light at the edges of his sight. He let nothing pass unnoticed. This was called awakening countless senses, a method to keep the mind sharp without tipping into nervousness. He didn't force concentration, he just invited observation, staying present without effort or tightness. Today's world numbs this skill. We walk with earbuds in, staring at screens, thoughts elsewhere, surrounded by reality yet detached from it. Musashi rejected that disconnection. Every day he relinked body and mind with this mindful movement. Their adaptation is simple. Go for a short walk. Place your focus on what's around you. Register sounds, motion, air temperature, patterns in your stride. Allow perception to broaden on its own. This isn't about paranoia. It's about reviving instinct, deepening your presence, and reconnecting your mind to the physical world instead of leaving it trapped in rumination. Musashi cultivated perception because a clear-seeing mind stays steady under pressure. This forms the third foundation of his practice, daily attentiveness as a core habit, not an occasional breakthrough. Fourth step, the thrust of focused purpose. After honing perception, Musashi reached the core of his morning, deliberate, single-minded repetition, not endless variety, not elaborate drills, just one motion executed with absolute commitment, again and again, until it became instinctive. He saw that most people drain themselves by spreading effort thin across countless pursuits. He chose the reverse. Each day he selected one element to perfect, one sword stroke, one stance, one fluid shift, and drilled it until body flowed without pause and mind stopped meddling. This was the essence of his unbreakable focus. True mastery lay not in knowing it all, but in distilling everything to its purest form. You don't need blades. Select one ability central to your goals, drafting a passage, holding a pose, completing one clean rep of a movement, polishing a technique in your work. Start slowly, then spend several minutes on it with undivided attention. The goal isn't output, it's forging character. You're training yourself to follow through, to commit fully, to move decisively. Most falter because their energy splinters in too many directions. They pursue 10 things and finish 0. Musashi finished one thing so completely that it elevated everything else. This phase is straightforward. Pick one movement, execute it with total resolve, end when thought and action sync perfectly. Over time, this builds a mind free of self-doubt. The person who drills purpose becomes the person who acts without hesitation. Fifth step, the balance of expression. Following that intense focus, Musashi turned to an aspect many fighters overlooked, creative work. He painted, sculpted wood, mastered calligraphy, approaching beauty and form with the same gravity as battle. To him, blade and brush weren't opposites. They revealed the same inner quality. Someone who only trains aggression grows brittle. Someone who also trains creativity stays fluid. Art refined his sense of harmony, timing, and grace. It showed him how to stay composed amid action and vibrant amid calm. This wasn't leisure. It was essential training. After physical drills, he intentionally shifted to a creative pursuit to develop the subtler traits that complete a strong mind. Your version doesn't require traditional art. Choose any activity demanding mindful engagement. Sketching, writing freely, journaling, whittling, playing music, designing, or thoughtfully organizing your surroundings. The aim is gentle, sustained attention without strain. Most people exhaust themselves by over-relying on one mode. Musashi stayed resilient by pairing intensity with release, force with flow. This fifth element, perform a modest creative task. No criticism, no targets, just full immersion. It enhances mental adaptability, turning discipline from burden into natural rhythm. A fighter who creates becomes unbreakable. Sixth step, the nightly reckoning. As daylight faded, Musashi performed a ritual few embrace, honest. Self-review, not harshly, not theatrically, but with unflinching clarity. His toughest adversary was never another warrior. It was the part of himself that dodged reality. Each night he mentally replayed the day like reviewing a sparring match. Where did he waver? Where did fear surface? Where did he move without clear purpose? Where did he stray from his chosen path? This wasn't punishment, it was insight. You can't improve what you won't face. Musashi knew real growth came from identifying one flaw daily, not overwhelming himself with total overhaul. Small, consistent realizations compound into profound change. Your practice is minimal. Sit quietly for 1 minute before bed. Ask yourself 3 things. What built me up today? What drained me? What should shift tomorrow? That's sufficient. No lengthy writing, no chasing perfection, just honest observation. Most repeat errors because they never look back. Musashi evolved daily because he did. This quietest step is often the mightiest. Face yourself directly. True progress starts when you stop avoiding your own habits. Musashi finished each day sharper than he started, not from talent but from relentless attention. Final step, the release of the unnecessary. Musashi closed his evenings by deliberately discarding whatever no longer helped. A lingering worry, an old pattern, a needless diversion. He knew a cluttered mind can't restore itself, and a restless night weakens the next dawn. He slept simply, lightly, without dragging the day's weight into recovery. That's why he awoke clear and directed. You don't need ancient weapons to walk this way. Finish your day unburdened. Let go on purpose. The practice is timeless, but the resilience it forges belongs entirely to you.